Good morning, all of you. How are you all preparing for exam and getting up along with the festival also? That's the beautiful part of studies. So much I'm remembering from myself being a student when Navratri was there, one of the most looked forward festival. Playing Garba, singing till the night, 3 o'clock, not an issue. But with that, if we can balance our studies also, जब मालूम ही है कि 4-5 hours are going to go and we study extra earlier, or even while the festival mode, we take out that quality good time and study and then enjoy the festival. Both you can do. And sometimes because of the pujas and rituals, it is honestly difficult. Okay, take an off for one full day, but then you're smart enough to compensate that, right? So we need not be very tough with ourselves and we need not be very lenient. Ma'am, how to do that? That you yourself can do. Your nature, you know it well and you can do it. And if you can do that, nothing like that. Okay? Chalo. Let us begin today with the most important topic, which is a part of your question number 1 only. That is the total income question. We'll divide it into 2 parts and we will study. Those who are having the notes, attending the live class can use the material because we'll be solving question and answers. And if you're not having that, then in the Telegram, it's pinned. DT and IDT, the compiler is pinned in the Telegram. You can definitely take a printout from there. Okay? Right. So, until now, we have done all the 5 heads of income, then club others income, then do set off, remember the rules of the set off like maths, board mass rules, and what we get is gross total income. Last 3 days we were doing the gross total income, and from that deductions, how much will be allowed subject to what conditions. Most important deductions from the exam are ATC. I will come up with ABC, but because these are the deductions which are a part of total income, so if you have not done, make sure you do it. ABC may, if you ask me, ATC, ATD, Mediclaim, and ATC, what all kind of the investments, repayment of housing loan. Last, ATTTA and ATTTV for saving account interest, ATU for handicap, and toppings on the top of the deductions for your exam is ATG. Okay, so there are some amendments in deductions which we have already covered. I've already circulated in all the WhatsApp and Telegram 8 pages sheet for all the important amendments of the DT and 4 pages for the GST. You can take a printout and study. Already the video is also uploaded for that. Now, today what we are doing, we are marching towards computation of total income question in exam, which comes as question number 1. Now, this is my suggestion in the exam. Don't attempt it first because it's question number 1. In 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 marks question or 2 marks bits for TDS return. Whatever you know best, house property, capital gain, that will give you a pump कि हाँ, house property 6 marks question चलो हो गया correct है. Capital gain, salary, do that. Do this question, which is for 15 marks in the second hour. Okay? Right. MCQs you can start with whatever you know best, but if once MCQ you're stuck up at, don't give more than 2 to 3 minutes to that. Write a rough work in your notebook. You're not allowed to write anything in the question paper, and then come back and do that. Okay. Now, right now, I'm teaching you the 115 BAC. That's a different way to compute the income and calculate the tax. That till last year, it was optional. From financial year 23-24, it is called as default tax regime. If you don't choose, you have to calculate your income and tax as per section 115 BAC. There some deductions are not allowed, the tax rates are different, few things are there which we will learn now in coming 1 hour. So if nothing given in exam, you have to solve the question with default tax regime. Specifically in the exam, if they give what will be the income and tax if the person opts out of the default tax regime, then we'll calculate the tax as per normal tax regime. 1 minute. I think chatting is enabled. So normal tax regime. Normal tax regime is the one which we did in the very first class. Up to 2,50,000, 2 lakh to 5 lakh, 5%, 5 lakh to 10 lakh, 20%, and 10 lakh above 30%. And all the deductions are allowed. So what we will do right now is, in question number 1, they will ask you to calculate the tax by normal regime and by default regime, and whichever is beneficial, go for that. So right now, coming 1 hour, I'm on page number 22 of our material, DT compiler and default tax regime karte hain. When this is done perfectly with 2 to 3 problems, I'll take some problem with the normal tax regime, and then we can also take the comparative problems. This class will go on for 2 days, today and tomorrow. If you have any doubt, ask me. Today, I'm also going to put up the video in the app for agricultural income. Do watch that, because total income mein one bit they will ask agricultural income and the tax calculation changes. Or another important topic they'll add is ATG. ATG will try to cover up today with other problems already we have done in deductions. Is the mindset clear to you? Okay. Now, when we are solving the total income problem in exam, there will be different heads income एक साथ. So follow the sequence: salary, house property, business head, capital gain. Even if they give you bank interest first, don't write income from other source bank interest first. No, it's the fifth head only. First thing. Second thing is, don't make your main computation all hodgepodge by including everything together. You can do particulars and triple column, but the best way is income from salary, taxable gratuity, working note 1, taxable HRA, working note 2, business head income, working note. So the main computation, let it be very small, and for all the respective details, you can use the working notes. Okay. Stepwise marks are there for working notes, so don't do the things in calculator. Okay. Chalo. 115 BAC is also called as default tax regime. So here we go and start this. It is applicable to whom? 115 BAC as a choice. Individuals, HUFs, AOP, BOI, AJP. They have an option to pay their tax on their income at the following rates. Whether you file your return in default tax regime or in normal tax. Those who are live in Zoom or in YouTube, the chat box is on. Any doubts you have, you can ask. Okay? Right. Yeah. Now listen. If there is a special income like long-term capital gain on shares, short-term capital gain on shares and all, then special income, special rates. Okay? But here it is that your normal income, if you file your return under 115 BAC, which is called as default tax regime, up to 3 lakh, there is no tax. 3 lakh to 6 lakh, 5%. 6 lakh to 9 lakh, 10%. 9 to 12, 15. 12 to 15 lakh, 20. And above 15 lakhs, it's 30%. So every 3 lakh increase in income, the tax rate is increasing by 5%. I want everyone in your notebook on page number 22 where this is given, write down the normal tax regime also. Ma'am, when to follow normal tax? In exam, they'll give you if the person has opted out of the default tax regime. कुछ नहीं बोले, nothing you said, default tax regime. Or opt out, then normal tax regime. Okay. So there's 0 to 2.5 lakhs, it's nil. 2.5 lakh to 5 lakh, it is 5% on the next 5 lakh. 5 lakh to 10 lakh on the next 5 lakh, it is 20%. 10 lakh and above, it is 30%. Is this clear to all of you? 0 to 2.5 nil, 2.5 to 5 lakh 5%, 5 to 10 lakh 20%, 10 lakh above 30%. Is this clear to all of you? Yeah. So when to follow this regime? Default tax regime. Now yesterday only we have completed alternative minimum tax, that at least 18.5% on adjusted total income. When you have to go for the AMT, if you have taken 80 JJAA deductions and all, section 10 AA ले लिया है, या फिर और एक था ना 35 AD, right? So individuals HUFs, if they are going for this 115 BAC, are not liable to AMT. AMT credit will lapse. You know, if you pay AMT, which is higher than normal tax, you take the tax credit and carry forward for 15 days. If you have missed that lecture, watch it. It's just 45 minutes and MCQs are so much asked, and separately also 7 marks problem is asked. Now comes rebate. You remember from your tax, you have to minus the rebate. If your normal income is up less than 5 lakhs, then you get a rebate up to 12,500. And on the balance of the tax only, you add health and education cess, which is 4%. Clear? Right. Even if the SSA opts for 115 BAC, rebate for income up to 7 lakhs under 87A is there. Okay. What's the rebate under normal? Have you written the tax rate? यहाँ पे लिखो rebate if total income is less than 5 lakhs up to 12,500. Normal tax regime में, if your total income is up to 5 lakhs, just 1 second. If the total income is up to 5 lakh, then the rebate is up to 12,500. Where? In the normal tax regime. In the default tax regime, up to total income 7 lakh, rebate is given. So 7 lakh, 3 lakh tak to tax hi nahi hai. Next 3 lakh to 6 lakh, how much tax is there? 5%, that is 15,000. 6 lakh to 7 lakh on 1 lakh, 10%, that's 10,000. So 25,000 is the rebate. I'll give you a very nice comparative chart that will make it clear. Okay. Special income, special rates are there. If you're going for default tax regime, no benefits, extra benefits for non-resident senior citizen. You know, like in normal case, if you're filing the return for senior citizen, basic exemption goes to 3 lakh. Super senior citizen, 80 years and above, how much is the basic exemption? Can anyone say? In normal tax regime, normal is you are opting out of the default. And if you are senior citizen, 80 years and above, then what is your basic exemption? Put it in the chat box. 1 second. Put it in the chat box. Yes. 2,50,000 to hai. But if you are a senior citizen, 60 years and above, then 3 lakh. 80 years and above, then 5 lakh. Very good. That's what is that? That is the additional basic exemption you are getting because you are a super senior citizen. But if you're filing your return in default tax regime, what's your basic exemption? Yes. What's the basic exemption? Just 3 lakh. No additional benefit. Is my speed fine clear until now? New income tax regime will be the default tax regime unless the SSC opts for normal. Exam में अगर बोला है कि person is opting for normal तो fine है. Otherwise default. Standard deduction 50,000 from salary and deduction from family pension 15,000 is allowed under both, is allowed only under the old regime, but these deductions are allowed under the new regime also. दोनों regime में ये आपको benefit मिलेगा. Okay. Ma'am, then what's the difference? I'll tell you. Just keep patience. I'll make you write some nice notes and we'll solve questions also. Okay. Certain deductions, exemptions which are not allowed. Okay. Certain deductions and exemptions which are not allowed. If you're filing your return under 115 BAC, deductions, exemptions would not be allowed to individuals and HUF. Like leave travel concession. Yaad hai? In the calendar years, 4 years, anytime you can travel yourself with family, spouse, children, parents, huh? Anywhere in India, and your tickets will be exempt. That leave travel concession will not be allowed if you file your return in default. HRA का deduction नहीं मिलेगा. 1014 exemption in respect of special allowance or benefit to meet expenditure relating to duty. Okay, like I want all of you to write here. Like education allowance was exempt up to 100. Hostel allowance was exempt up to 300. That you will not get. Okay. Daily allowance or constituency allowance, MPs and MLAs, you will not get. Exempt nahi rahega. Let me tell you, MPs and MLAs, whatever salary they get, I want all of you to write here, taxable as income from other source. There's no employer-employee relationship between the MPs and the government, right? So if you are working as MPs and MLAs and if you are getting salary, it will be taxable under other source. But allowances were exempt under 1017 if you are filing your return in normal tax regime. Default mein hai to it will not be exempt. Are you getting? Give yourself time to learn it. The more problems you practice, it will become clear. You remember, for every minor child's income clubbed in the hands of the parents will get exemption. Please write this additional bits. This is like a revision. Under section 1032, for every minor child income clubbed in the hands of the parents is getting 1500. 1500 exemption. वो नहीं मिलेगा. You will not get if you file your return in default tax regime. Tax holiday. Yesterday only I said total turnover, total profit. Export turnover, export profit. So export profit for SEZ is exempt for 5 years. Next 5 years, 50%. Next 5 years, kal hi kiya tha. That will not be allowed if you file your return in default tax regime. Even if it is an SEZ unit, fully it will be taxable. Entertainment allowance not allowed. Profession tax not allowed. What is allowed? Transport allowance to handicapped employee. Write down 3,200 per month. Transport allowance given to handicapped employee up to 3,200 is exempt. This you will get in both the regime. You will get in both the regime. We'll do some problems and I'll give you very nice bits also. Okay, right. Now conveyance allowance. Of course, you will get if it is just to and through the office. Next is daily allowance. Next is standard deduction. Standard deduction also you will get. Okay, up to 50,000. Right. Standard deduction from salary, if a person is retired from pension, you will get in default tax regime as well as in normal tax regime. Next is interest on loan. Okay. Okay, listen. So now comes in one by one head. First, shall we revise this much? Suppose you are computing your income from salary. It's very important to write detailed notes for this because this is going to come in the question number 1 only. So I'm going little slow only. Huh? Leave travel concession not allowed. HRA not allowed. Education, hostel and all not allowed. Daily allowance to MPs, MLAs, here it was exempt. Now it will become taxable. Minor child not allowed. Tax holiday not allowed. Okay. Entertainment and PT not allowed. These all standard deduction and all allowed. Okay. Followed or not. Now here, few things are not clarified in the act. So we should write somewhere here, retirement benefits allowed. You know what are retirement benefit exemption? Retirement benefit exemptions like gratuity under section 1010, leave salary, retrenchment compensation, VRS, all this is allowed. Followed or not. Anyone is having any doubt in salary chapter, then ask, otherwise I'm going to house property. House property, commonly students make mistakes, so I'm giving you all the pointers. Suppose you are filing your return in normal tax regime. Then in self-occupied property, you are allowed to show a loss up to 2 lakhs. GAV nil, NAV nil, आप बताते हैं ना? Self-occupied property up to 2 lakhs, you show a loss in case of the normal tax regime. In default tax regime, interest on loan in respect of self-occupied property, NA, not allowed. This is the list of not allowed. Not allowed. Not allowed. Followed. Is this clear to all of you what is not allowed? Self-occupied property, you cannot show a loss. Right? Acha, other losses also. आगे भी है, but I want all of you to write here also. In normal tax regime, house property loss set off in other heads up to 2 lakh. याद है आपको set off? House property loss can be set off in salary, business head, capital gain, other source, all. The most mixing up head, easy to go ahead is house property. Actually, the problems are also very easy. So how much house property loss you can set off with others? 2 lakhs. But then same thing, same house property loss you cannot set off with any other heads if you're filing a return in default tax regime. That's given down, but I want to cover it up here. See. Certain losses are not allowed. While computing, loss under house property cannot be set off with other heads. Bracket में लिखो, not even up to 2 lakh. Ma'am, we can do up to 2 lakh set off in other heads and rest we can carry forward. No, that's normal tax regime. Default tax regime, whole house property loss you carry forward from let out, deem let out and set off only in your house property coming 8 years. Is this point clear? Though these are also my notes, but I'll give you another notes also for this. Chalo. Coming to business head. Additional depreciation not allowed. Then write down here. Normal depreciation allowed. Yeah. Is normal depreciation allowed? Yeah. Under section 32. But you remember additional depreciation if yours is a manufacturing company, then for plant and machinery up to 20%. All that is not allowed. Scientific research donation, section 35. To other research association, universities, colleges, Indian company, notified other research association for statistical research, IIT, laboratory, sub, not allowed. Okay. But then write down here, in-house. You remember in-house research and expense, development expense, revenue, capital, past 3 years allowed. Now, expected is when you're watching this lecture that you have already completed the 5 Fs. हो सकता है you may go little blank if yet you have not covered capital gain or business head. Then Please do this lecture when you have completed the 5 heads. Or if not, do it, no problem. But then pay more attention and write it now. See, scientific research, in-house, revenue, capital expenditure, everything is allowed except the cost of land. Earlier 3 years, research may be fruitful in the 4th or 5th year, but pehle 3 years also you have incurred the expense. No? That is also allowed. But if you donate to other national laboratory, IIT, universities, approved colleges, some specific company for research on all that, not allowed. 35 AD, revenue and capital expenditure for specified business, 2-star and above hotel, production of fertilizers, multi-speciality hospitals, slum development. 35 AD specified businesses in which revenue and capital, all the expenditure is allowed. But here it is not allowed. Deduction in respect of expenditure incurred on notified agricultural project. Deduction in respect of expenditure incurred on the notified agricultural product. That was allowed in the business and not allowed here. Deductions. It's like, investment in PPF, dekhte se 80C. Mediclaim, 80D. Students are super quick in deductions. But if you are filing a return in default tax regime, no deductions are allowed except 3. First one, employer's contribution to national pension scheme 80 CCD2 up to 12% of the salary. And if your boss is central government, then 14% of the salary. This is taught to you in deductions 80 CCD2. Employer's contribution to Agniveer Corpus Fund. Employer means who? Central government contributing for their army employees in Agniveer Corpus Fund. Deduction allowed. 80 CCH2. Deduction in respect of new employment. If you are appointing new workers, whatever wages you are paying, 30% you get deduction now and the next 2 years. 3 years tak bilkul milega aapko deduction. Not allowed. Sorry, say that is allowed here. Isko chhod ke baki not allowed. But this new employee should not have salary more than 25,000 per month. He should work for more than 240 days. He should contribute to PF, and all rules are there in the deductions. So this is all about what is allowed and not allowed headwise. Now, any losses attributable to above expenses and additional depreciation not allowed. Now listen to a logic. Scientific research donation outside is not allowed. So because of that, if there is loss, that loss will also not be allowed, no? Yeah? Look at this example. Like last year's brought forward depreciation is 10 lakh. 6 lakh is normal, 4 lakh is additional. 6 lakh can be set off. Additional depreciation is not allowed. So related to that loss, can you carry forward? Aage jaake set off karenge? No. 35 AD expenditure is not allowed. So related to that loss, can you carry forward? I'll file my return in default tax regime. 35 AD a loss I can carry forward for indefinite period to be set off in 35 AD. No. 35 AD में return file करना है तो come out of default tax regime, file your tax in the normal tax regime, 250 and 5 lakh wala. Is my language clear? There's a very simple logic. If you feel the language there, it is tricky, pay attention here. See, leave travel not allowed. Additional depreciation not allowed. Scientific research outside not allowed. 35 AD not. These are not allowed. Then related to this, if there is any loss, shall I carry forward and set off in default regime? No. Last year, there's a loss because of 35 AD. Last year, there was a loss because scientific research donation I gave to IIT laboratory. That loss I cannot set off now in default tax regime. Ma'am, तो फिर क्या करें वो loss का? It will lapse. It will lapse. While working out the question answers, it's very easy. but there are some parts which I have collected and put here together. Actually, they are given in your respective chapters. If you have opened your study material, salary may at one place, at the end they are giving. Normal may you'll calculate the tax like this, default may like this. Business head, normal like this, default. Capital gain, no change. So like this for every head, I have combined and given you this. So that when we solve total income problems, it will be clear. Is this point clear? Live in Zoom can at least put a thumbs up. समझ में आया या नहीं? When those expenses are not allowed related to that losses, why it will be allowed? Last year, there was a loss of 40 lakhs. In that, 10 lakhs was the loss because of depreciation. Loss was 30, but depreciation तो you have to charge. Ma'am, already 30 lakhs loss. I'll not charge depreciation. ऐसे तो नहीं होता. So already 30 lakhs loss was there. I charge depreciation, normal and additional, 40 lakh loss. Now this 40 lakh loss I want to carry forward. In the 10 lakh loss, additional depreciation, 6 lakhs was related to normal depreciation. You can set off. 4 lakh is related to additional depreciation. You cannot set off. It will lapse. Okay, thank you so much that it's all clear. Your messages gives me lot of boost ki chalo speed बरोबर है सबको समझ में आ रहा है. Ma'am, all this is theory. अरे no, not at all. हम अच्छे questions करेंगे. Default tax regime is applicable by default unless SSC opts out. Now this is asked in MCQs. यहाँ से आगे तक till we go to the problem number 1. Just read. That doesn't mean you have to ignore, but no need to memorize the language. What you have studied now, this table, so you have to by heart. See, if you are not having individual and HUF is not having business income, he may choose to excise the option once and not to excise the option in another year. Are you getting what I'm saying? He may choose to excise the option in 1 year. Okay, this year I want to file my return in default tax regime. This year I don't want to file my return. He can change every year. And we are the students. For exam, we have to calculate manually. Practical world softwares are available. Computax, these, that. So many softwares are there. They'll give you the comparative. If you file this, this is your income, this is your tax. Here, this is your income, this side. So I want to repeat, if an individual and HF is not having business income, you can shuffle this or that. But if you are having a business income, once the SSC opts out of the default tax regime, he cannot opt in again. He cannot change the options every year. Is this clear to all of you? Once the SSC opts out of the default tax regime, he cannot opt in. He cannot change the options every year. You were having business income. You went for default tax regime for 2 years. Now you said you don't want to file the return in default. Opt out. Can you go in again? No, till you are having business income. This they can ask in MCQ. We are doing these classes today and tomorrow. Total income के बहुत अच्छे problems. Today तो we'll do base building questions, good quality, good from study material. Tomorrow I'll take all past exam questions which are already asked for 15 marks. Okay. So any doubts you have when I start the class, anytime you can pause me and ask. Now, on failure to satisfy the conditions mentioned above, ye nahi lena, wo nahi lena, the option excise would be invalid. Consequently, normal tax would be applicable as if you have never gone for default tax regime. Okay. Now, for TDS purpose, this I'll explain in my own way. It's like very easy actually. You know, for employee, we have to compute their income and tax on estimated basis, divide that tax by 12, and every month we will deduct the TDS and pay. While paying them salary, We will deduct the TDS, the PT and all. We study in costing labor chapter. We study in salary chapter, है ना? तो employee को ask them in April month only. In fact, April से तो शुरू होता है. So always you have to fill up a form and tell to your employer, you want to file your return in default tax regime. I'll calculate the income and tax accordingly. I'll deduct the TDS and pay every month. You want to go for normal tax regime, I'll do it accordingly. So you have to intimate your employer. If the employer doesn't intimate, employer by default will calculate the income and the tax as per 115 BAC default tax regime, over and out. ठीक है? Now, employee opted for 115 BAC for deducting the TDS, but while filing the return, he said, no, I have capital gain also. I sold this property and I want to take PPF and all the deduction. I don't want to file my return in default. Can he change? Yes. Is it very simple or not? First of all, to deduct TDS, employee should inform to employer. क्या करना है? You want to eat dairy milk or you want to eat Kit Kat? बोल दो. Right? So you inform. If you don't inform, they will file your, they will calculate the tax and do as per which regime? Default tax regime. Clear? Now, in case if you have yourself gone for default tax regime, but at the end now you want to change, can you change it while filing your return? Yes. You know why so many choices are given? Because you are having salary income. If you have a business income, you have to consistently go for default tax regime. If you opt out 1 year, means out forever. ठीक है? देखो पढ़ते हैं ये point. Just read it so that if they ask you case scenario or MCQ, you will be able to do it. है ना? On failure to satisfy, ये तो हो गया. Sorry. For the purpose of TDS, intending to offer 115 BAC or not, he has to intimate his employer. If such intimation is not made by the employer shall make TDS as per default tax regime. It is also clarified that intimation so made to deductor shall only be for the purpose of TDS during previous year and cannot be modified. However, intimation would not amount to excising the option while filing the return. So thus, while filing the return, your option could be different. Okay? Right. I've been putting the messages in the Telegram and the WhatsApp to attend the live class so that if you have any doubt, you can ask me now. There's a different level of focus when you do the class live. For very important reason, if you miss, then we are giving you backup recording in the app. तो ये सबको करना है compulsory. देखो हो गया 115 BAC, concept is over. Now what we are doing is, yeah, more than 35 minutes are over and the concept is over. Now we are going to solve the problems with both. Normal tax regime तो सबको पता है 2,50,000 and I also gave you the option. Rebate here it is how much there. Now we will work out one problem and we will also write the notes. तो पहले एक काम करते हैं ना, we'll do question number 1, question number 2. A base level small question we are doing in notebook to calculate the tax as per default and as per normal, compare whichever is beneficial, and then I'll make you write some notes also, comparative notes, mind mapping notes, so that one day before the exam you are clear. ठीक है? Arhan, 35 years, has provided following details relating to his income. Income from business, income from saving account. The moment you see saving account, either 80 TTA will come or 80 TTB. I am reading the problem the way student will read with exam. Mindset of student के हिसाब से मैं पढ़ रही हूँ. तो देखो, Arhan is 35 years, तो 80 TTA का deduction मिलेगा up to 10,000. If you would have been senior citizen, up to 50,000. 80 TTB deduction you get. Here you get only saving account. Here you get the saving and FD. Mandatorily asked deduction. Either MCQ or case scenario or question answer. Interest on PPF exempt. Investment in PPF. ATC deduction you will get if you opt out of the default tax regime. You are requested to compute the tax liability and advise him whether he should go for the default or normal. Okay. So normal and default या default and normal जैसे करना. Take a screenshot and I think DT compiler is pinned in the Telegram. So you all already have the printout of that. Please remind me one comparative of the rebate in both the cases also I'll tell you. But after half an hour. First we are taking base level questions in notebook. Total income questions दोनों से करेंगे. We'll do it as per the, one second, dear students, as per normal tax regime also and as per default tax regime also for practice. What happens? Screen sharing. Okay, let us take the problem. And don't calculate one after the another, dear students. Just calculate all together only. मतलब एक साथ ही करेंगे हम. So we are doing question number 2 now. Computation of tax of Mr. Arhan. Write it, you will follow. बिल्कुल समझ में आएगा. दोनों ऑप्शंस एक साथ करेंगे. What is your option 1? Normal tax regime, 2,50,000 and all. And what is option 2? Default tax regime. Chalo. Always start headwise. So there's no salary, house property, directly business income is there. Business income is, this question is 7 marks already, the weightage for inter level. Acha question hai, simple. Next is income from other sources. Income from other sources में saving account, bank interest. Saving account bank interest is 12,000. 12,000. PPF interest. How much it is? PPF interest. 36,000. Exempt. Exempt. Bas. Even if it is exempt, write either here or in notes for the presentation purpose. Now what you get, you call it as gross total income. 15,12,000 in both the cases. Now you get deduction under section 80C because you have put your money in PPF in the normal tax regime. Default में तो नहीं मिले. So what is your TI, total income? अरे 13,62,000. Here it is same. That's it. This is the calculation of the total income. Now let us compute the taxation. एक line छोड़ के let us compute computation of the tax. Rebate is allowed in the normal tax regime if income is less than 5 lakh. In the default tax regime if the income is less than 7 lakhs. So here both the cases the rebate will not come. ठीक है. Now computation of the tax. Computation of the tax you can do one after the another or separate. पहले हम नॉर्मल में करेंगे. So 0 to 2.5 lakhs, the tax is nil. 2.5 lakh. He's not a senior citizen, right? So 5 lakh tak 10%. Sorry, huh? 2,50,000 to 5 lakh tak 5%. That's 12,500. 5 lakh to 10 lakh tak 20%. That is 1 lakh. And above 10 lakh, 3,62,000 pay 30%. 3,62,000 into 30%. 108600 plus 1 lakh plus 12,500. Did I make a mistake? Did anyone realize? I already said while reading the question, but I missed out. What? Saving account interest. So definitely you will give here 80 TTA. I said while reading the problem, but I missed out. Saving bank account interest may be 12,000, but you can avail a deduction up to 10,000. Up to 10,000. In default, no. And if he's a senior citizen, then up to 50,000. Excuse me. So the income will reduce to 3,52,000 ka 30% calculate. 105600 1,12,500. So the tax is coming to 2,18,100. No surcharge plus health and education says 4%, 8724 plus 218100. So you are getting the tax as 226824. Another way of calculating the tax is 226820 round up. Final tax. I'm doing in the column form. You can do it one after the another as we have given in the suggested answer. Now come here. In the default tax regime, 0 to 3 lakh, it's nil. Next 3 lakh, it's 5%. 15,000. Next 3 lakh, it's 10%. 30,000. Next 3 lakh, 15%. 45,000. Next 3 lakh. समझ में आ रहा है 12 and 15 lakhs तक पहुंच गए आप 20%. 60,000. 12,000 pay 30%. 3,600. So how much is it coming to the total? 15 plus 30 plus 45 plus 60 plus 3,600. $153,600. In that 4% we will add the cess 6144. 159,744. 159,740. 159,740. Anyone is having any doubt? Please ask. What was different? In default tax regime, we have not given ATC to ATU deductions because only 3 deductions are. And the way we calculate tax differs here and there. Surcharge and special income, special rate and all is same. So where the tax is less, yeah, 159. So what is the conclusion? Can we write the conclusion here? Conclusion. Arhan should opt for default tax regime. Arhan should opt for default tax regime because even though he's having business income, but tax is low. But see, once if Arhan decides to come out of the default tax regime, then again he'll not be allowed to opt. Ask your doubts. All live in Zoom. At least सब लोग comment करेंगे all clear, all clear, all clear. Appreciate so much that festive mood is there. Still you all are committed. Class भी attend करना है, पढ़ाई भी करना है और festival भी enjoy करना है. All Dashera, Diwali, all. You cannot just absolutely take a holiday because otherwise it's so very difficult to come back in the track. Yeah, all of you should put a message, all clear or easy or whatever you feel. Now you say, shall we do one more problem or shall we write a booster note, comparative note? I know the printed notes are too good, but I still want to write. ताकि आपको याद रहे ना कि कैसे करना है. Clear? Until now all clear? Chalo. See the suggested answer also, beta. Confusion hai to पूछो. If you're confused anywhere, ask. Problem number 1 is homework. You have to do. Answer is also printed in the compiler. If you're using this compiler, ye dekho. Here I've calculated the tax in different. एक के नीचे. Final tax you have to round off, not each and every tax. Says no. Finally. Okay. Third problem. Mr. A is aged 32 years. He is employed in XYZ Limited on a basic salary of 50,000 per month. He has received transport allowance 15,000 per month. Okay. And HRA from the company. He has paid rent. Mr. A has paid interest on repayment of the housing loan. So interest is allowed up to 2,10,000. You can show a loss in normal tax regime. Default tax regime, no, you cannot. HRA, pura taxable hoga, default tax regime. Normal tax regime, yes, you can take an exemption. Okay, from the company. Okay, what else? The construction of house was completed in March. One second. March 24. Still you can deduct the interest. Will March 24. So till March 23 it will be the pre-construction interest is not there in this question because the date you have taken the loan and all that detail is not given. Yeah. Yes, put the money in PPF, ATC, pension scheme, ATCCD. Okay. Payment for medical insurance premium. Medical insurance for self, spouse and all 32 years paid. But allowed will be only 25. And when the employee himself paying ATCCD, don't allow ATCCD because ATC PPF, ATCCC, LIC pension fund and this ATCCD1. Your upper limit is 1,50,000. So 1,50,000 तो PPF में ही हो गया है. So though the employee has contributed in ATCCD, can he take deduction under ATCCD 1B? up to 50,000. 80 CCD 1B is outside the triple. I'll make you write a note for this. इसको notebook में करेंगे और notes भी लिखेंगे थोड़े अच्छे. Payment of medical is 55 for the parents, but allowed is how much? 50. And self and spouse 32 at 25. Compute the tax and the liability which is most beneficial. Whenever they say like this in exam, which is most beneficial, you have to calculate the tax as per both the regime. Okay. Now here lot of exemptions and beach mein hai. So just now I did one problem where I did comparative. Here you can do comparative or you can do separate. So we will do separate, one after the another. Is the gist clear? Any confusion you have, ask. We are doing one more problem with both the ways. So problem number 3. This is there in the study material also. This is there in the DT compiler. Just join the Telegram and check the pinned message over there on top. And you can download the whole compiler and take a print and study. It's my years of hard work. Jahan confusion I have printed a notes. I've made it super easy. Aaja. First, we will compute the income. Computation of income under default tax regime. So, default tax regime mein HRA and all that benefits you will not get. Everything will be taxable. For reminder, after this, I'll give you one table, booster notes table. पहले problem solve कर लेते हैं. What's the basic salary? 50,000. You know, whenever they give you monthly salary, check whether he is retiring in December and all, so that 12 month salary will not come. But aisa nahi hai. So 50,000 into 12. 6 lakh. Okay. Right. Transport allowance. Transport allowance is exempt only for handicapped up to 2,000. यहाँ तो ऐसे कुछ दिया नहीं है. So 15,000 into 12 is 15 into 12 is 18. 1,80,000. HRA 20,000 house rent allowance. That's all for salary income. I was saying, is there anything else? No. So directly you can compute the gross salary. If there are more perquisites and allowances, you have to take 980, 10,20,000. Now, whether you file your return in default tax regime or normal, 50,000 tak standard deduction you are getting. So just write down taxable salary. See, this is online class, so I'm not able to see your notebook. That's why I ask you, is my speed fine? You are able to write with me. When I am writing, are you writing? When I am reading, are you reading? ये हो गया आपका taxable salary income. Now, house property, there's loss, so nothing will come. We'll write a note or we can write now only and dash. So, taxable salary is nothing but the gross total income. And yes, put the money in PPF all. In default tax regime, I'm trying to help you to learn. In default tax regime, only 3 deductions are allowed. Employer's contribution to NPS, 80 CCD2, वो तो नहीं है. 80 CCH2, अग्निवीर में employer's contribution. 80 JJAA, new employees, nothing is there. So gross total income will be your total income. Learned all of you? Gross total income will only be my total. I want all of you to write like this. Taxable salary bhi ye hai, GTI bhi hai, TI bhi hai. I'll give you note for that house property. Now can we do computation of tax under the default tax regime? Computation of 970 income पे आपको tax calculate करना है. So 0 to 3 lakhs, so it is nil. 3 lakh to 6 lakhs. On the next 3 lakh, it's 5%. 15,000. 6 lakhs to 9 lakh. Oh, sorry. Did I move ahead? First 3 lakh, then 3 lakh, 3 lakh, 9 lakh khatam ho gaya. So 9 lakh ke above. 9 lakh to 9 lakh 70,000. Sorry. On 70,000, it's 15%. 10,500. है ना? 7,000 और उसका आधा 3,500 if you're doing the calculator orally also sometimes. So what's your tax here? 55,500. Add 4% cess. 2220. 57,720. Clear to all of you? 57,720. Nice. This is the computation of tax under default tax regime for Mr. A. Salary may I have not given anything except standard deduction and write a note. Interest on loan in self-occupied property not deductible in default tax regime. Earlier I used to tell you कि वहीं के वहीं लिख लो नहीं तो नीचे note लिखना पड़ेगा, but now I'm saying at least not too many notes but 1 or 2 important notes write in exam. I've checked the question answer sheets of the students who have got it open and stepwise marks are there. So you have marks for writing the note also. That in default tax regime, there is a self-occupied property and there is interest up to 210. तो मैम 2 lakh तक तो डिडक्ट करो, नहीं मिलता ना. Interest on loan in self-occupied property not deductible up to 2 lakh also. Hence, you have not considered it. Now, second option we will go for computation of income and tax. Normal tax regime. Normal tax regime. चलो आ जाओ वापस से we'll have to write everything. If you're comfortable, you can do in the column form. हाँ जैसे वहां पे HRA डायरेक्ट है यहाँ exemption लिखना पड़ेगा like that. Can we quickly copy the things which are already clear? Like basic is 6,50,000 into 12. Transport allowance here also no exemption you will get. Only you get it if he's a handicapped person. HRA you will get. How much HRA you have received? 20,000 into 12, 2,40,000. Less exempt. Under section 10, clause 13A, working note 1. Don't write below this only. Least of the 3 bits and all. It will not look nice. So we'll just leave it. Don't do the total. But now the gross salary is clear to all of you. Minus the standard deduction will come 50,000 and you will get income from salary. Okay. Now you are in normal tax regime. So income from house property. There's a self-occupied property. Interest on loan is 2,10,000. How much loss you can show and set off with other heads? Up to 2 lakh. And anyhow, self-occupied property, interest on loan, maximum deductible is 2 lakh. Ma'am, बाकी 10,000 का क्या होगा? Lapse होगा. You have paid, but you will not get benefit. So up to 2 lakh you are taking because you are filing the return in normal tax regime. Anything else here? No. So now what you will get, you call it as gross total income. From this, can I allow certain deductions? Answer is yes. What are those deductions? Under section 80C PPF, 1,50,000 बिल्कुल मिलेगा. 1,50,000 you will get PPF. Okay. Directly also you can take. फिर सब total करो, फिर लिखो. So you can take directly. Next is you have contributed to खुद का employee का. Employees National Pension Scheme. He has contributed 80 CCD में 50,000. Not allowed. 80 CCD में not allowed. As per, I want all of you to write it here only. As per 80 CCE, 80C plus 80 triple C plus 80 CCD allowed till 1,50,000. तो 1,50,000 तो 80C में ही कवर हो गया PPF में. And you have 80C, 80 triple C, 80 CCD. But still, can you allow in 80 CCD 1B National Pension Scheme may you have put the money up to 50,000 and anyhow it is 50,000. If it would have been 80,000, I would have taken 50,000. Anyone in the class, chuck up here, pause this video, go to your deductions chapter, note number 1. टेबल के पीछे नोट में पूरा डिटेल में दिया है. 80C, 80 triple C, 80 CCD, the upper limit is 150, which is over in PPF. So 80 CCD, you can't take 50,000. Otherwise, it will become 2 lakh. So can you take it in the NPS? Yes. Next, what they have given is under section 80D, Mediclaim for parents. Parents के लिए 55,000 है, allowed up to 50,000 for parents. For self and spouse. Self और spouse के लिए कितना दिया है? 32. तो allowed कितना है? 25. So what you will get, you call it as total income and you have to calculate the tax. Now immediately first I'll do my working note 1. Definition of salary for HRA. For HRA, salary includes, just for your remembrance, basic DA in terms of employment and commission as a percentage of sale. So DA commission कुछ भी नहीं है. So can I take HRA on the basic salary? That is 6 lakhs. Now what is the first bit? Rent paid minus 10% of salary. What is the rent paid? He has paid 25,000 into 12 rent and 10% of the salary is 60,000. तो कितना आता है? 25,000 into 12 is 3 lakh minus 60,000. So the first bit answer comes. See, if you write all this in the main answer, it will look so much hodgepodge. 2,40,000. Are you all with me? 2,40,000. Rent paid minus 10% of the salary. He is in which city? Delhi. So then we will take 50% of the salary. If not in metro, we'll take 40% of the salary. 50% of the 6 lakhs. So that is 3 lakhs. And third bit is actual HRA. I want to repeat. HRA is exempt under section 1013A, least of the three. Rent paid minus 10%. I know for some of you, you are understanding, you are doing, but yet you have not by-hearted that salary part. It will take time. Give yourself that time. Whenever you come to HRA and you have not learned, refer back, refer back, refer back. 2-3 बार में बिल्कुल learn होगा आपको. ठीक है? What is actual house rent allowance? Actual HRA दिया था ना 2,40,000. करेक्ट है ना? $2,40,000. So least is exempt. Least is 2,40,000. It will be exempt. HRA, you will get an exemption. So what's your gross salary? 7,80,000. 50,000 निकाल दो. 730. Self-occupied का loss भी allowed है. तो 5,30,000. And now give all these deductions. 530 minus 150 minus 50 minus 75. मैंने मिला के लिखा. What's the total income under the normal tax regime? 2,55,000. Now computation of tax. After writing the notes, we'll take a break. कोई भी doubt है तो पूछो. Computation of the tax, total income मैंने फिर से लिखा 255 because there's a break in between. Now, what's the basic exemption? 250. So balance 5,000, pay 5% is 250. Now you will get rebate under section 87A. As the income is less than 5 lakhs, can we give a rebate? Yes. So what is the tax payable? Nil. What is the tax payable? Nil. Clear to all of you? So conclusion now. Is he having business income? No. So he can choose every year. What's the tax in the default tax regime? 57,720. Normal tax regime. Mr. A should opt for normal tax regime because that's good. Tax is low over there. Now I want to take a pause here. I'm going to make you write some booster notes. Then we'll take a break. But the pause is for you. Unmute and ask if you have any doubts. कोई भी doubt है तो पूछो. Ask if you have any doubt. And if no doubt, then I want a message. All clear. Yeah. If you clearly follow, you can save your time. ना exam में 3 घंटे में paper करना है. तो good thing कि ma'am can we write basic salary and then so you can save the time of writing particulars. You can. But computation of tax ज़्यादा hodgepodge नहीं करना. Possible है तो do it in column. Otherwise, the good idea is to compute the tax one after another. I'm waiting. Do you have any doubt? Then ask. All clear? So sure, you are going to do this problem and score full marks. Either it will ask in question number 1 only or separately a question for default tax regime mandatory, because it's made mandatory only for this year. So mandatorily it's going to come in the exam. Only thing I feel as a student, if I have to approach, I will not start with the total income problem. Answer sheet, when you get the question paper reading time, read the question number 2 to rest of the questions where you have to make choice in DT, in GST. ये choice करके रखना है. MCQs, ठीक है, the moment you get the answer sheet and the OMR sheet, and for CMA students, I think OMR sheet is not there, you have to write there only, but no need to write explanation or working for MCQ. ठीक है ना? Of course, before the exam, I'll take proper videos on paper pattern, but just mindset I am giving. In second, third, fourth, if I saw one house property question exactly done with Dipti ma'am, go for it. Capital gain, you know this stamp duty value, go for it. TDS, return of income, 2 marks bit kar lo. So by this, you are giving yourself a pump ki, okay, you know this. And once this is done, then you go for the total income questions. And MCQs, if you do initially, it takes time, but it gives boost also. So your choice, either you do initially or you do middle, but take care ki when you do MCQs, if you're stuck up at one MCQ for more than 3 minutes, in question paper kuch mat likho, notebook mein likho. Write in your answer sheet rough work for MCQ, third MCQ pending, eighth MCQ pending. लिख के रख दो, छोड़ दो. Don't get stuck up at one MCQ. You are writing a beautiful exam. There's no ego fight. Okay? Yeah. Open your notebooks. I'm making you write some nice booster notes, and then we'll take a break. Okay? पहले हम लोग लिख लेते हैं. What I'm making you write is understand and write. This is, frankly speaking, trying to make you learn now. You have followed what is allowed in the normal tax regime, what is allowed in the default tax regime. You have solved good comparative questions also. Now what we will do is we will make a list. ठीक है? एक लिस्ट बना लेते हैं ना, तो क्लियर हो जाएगा आपको भी कि what is allowed and what is not allowed. So one day before exam, where you are going to learn, there you write this. For all the students who are doing live coaching now for DT we are completing, IDT we are starting next week. DT, if you wish, you can get the recording also. तो आप लोगों को बताया गया है, रेड कलर से इसको लिखना है, booster notes है, and let us start. I am also giving it on my own, so all your suggestions are also welcome. Okay? Booster notes to refer one day before exam for quick remembrance. Particulars थोड़ा बड़ा करेंगे, and then normal tax regime and default tax regime. Ma'am, nothing given in the exam, then solve it with default tax regime. Okay? Right, chalo. Starting say, keep your table also open on page number 22. What is there? Let us first start with the salary chapter. So side heading likho, salary. Leave travel concession. You can write in brief, but if you can write sections, it would be very nice. Usbane yaad bhi ho jayega. Leave travel concession. Normal tax regime you get, default you don't get. HRA, abhi humne kiya 1013A. HRA 1013A. Normal you get, least of the three, default you don't get. Other allowances, like नीचे लिखो, education allowance 100 per month exempt है, hostel allowance 300 per month, yeah, like that, under 1014. It's allowed in the normal, it's not allowed here. Daily allowance. Daily allowance to MPs and MLAs. This was in normal May, this is exempt. Allowed nahi, it's exempt. In case of default, it will become taxable. Is my language clear? अरे screen बंद हो गई? When the screen closed? Abhi na? Yeah. Daily allowance and all under section 1017. See, MPs and MLAs, whatever salary they get is taxable in income from other source. But allowances were exempt. Here, in the default tax regime, nahi milega. Exemption nahi milega. Taxable ho jayega. Minor child exemption. You remember every minor child's income clubbed in the hands of the parent? I want you to learn the section also, 1032. It is exempt up to 3,200. 3,200 per child. No exemption. Minor की पूरी income will be taxable in the hands of the parent only till 2 children. 3 minors income club, 3 times the parents will get exemption up to 3,200 nahi hai. Sorry, 3,200. Yeah. Thank you for the message in the chat box. 1,500 per child. टीचर की गलती बच्चे बताते हैं तो ईगो हट नहीं होता है, खुशी होती है कि आप अच्छे से पढ़ रहे हो. 3,200 is like what you call it, transport allowance वाला, exempt for handicapped. Okay, I'm giving I think little more detail. 20 मिनट लग जाएंगे लिखने में, but कभी आप भूलोगे नहीं, you'll never forget this. Come, next what we will take, 10 AA is over. 1032 salary हो गया. Yeah. Now I want all of you to write retirement benefits. Retirement benefits like gratuity, leaves encashment. याद है सबको? Retrenchment and all allowed. In both the cases, it is allowed. Okay. Transport allowance exempt for handicapped employee up to 3,200 per month. Both the cases exemption is allowed. Transport के लिए. Allowance for official purpose. You know, you are giving allowance for official purpose. You are traveling for official purpose. Here also it is exempt. Here also it is exempt. Daily allowance. So many times just to meet the to and fro और कुछ ना कुछ रहता है ना, या ऑफिस आपका एकदम रिमोट एरिया में है, so every day you have to catch up a ferry and then board that oil extraction unit and all. That's exempt. Daily allowance. Standard deduction. Standard, I think I should print this list next time or it's good to write. Standard deduction. कितना है? Up to 50,000. Both the cases you will get standard deduction. profession tax PT and entertainment allowance deduction. It's allowed in the normal tax regime, not allowed in the default tax regime. Normal tax regime में allowed है profession tax, entertainment allowance deduction only for government employees. यहाँ तो बिल्कुल allowed. आ जाओ. Now, section 10AA SEZ exemption, export unit, here allowed, here not allowed. Done. Now comes income from house property. Self-occupied property, loss up to 2 lakhs. Here allowed, here not allowed. Here allowed, here not allowed. Loss up to 2 lakhs. अच्छा है, clear है. और क्या करें? House property loss set off with other heads. In normal tax regime, you can do up to 2 lakhs. In default tax regime, not allowed. Carry forward for 8 years to be set off only in house property. Are you all enjoying? By this way, so much of total income is also clear. Next, come to business head. Business head. Normal depreciation. Allowed in both the cases. Additional depreciation. Allowed here, not allowed there. Scientific research. In that, number 1. In-house. Revenue and capital expenditure. You all remember or not? There also I have given you booster notes. Is my speed fine? Please, live in Zoom can help me out. आप भी लिख पा रहे हो? I know my writing is not very clear because things are coming out of my mind and I'm putting lot of energy in explanation. So you listen and write. मैं बोल रही हूँ आपको तो आप लिख पा रहे हो? In-house revenue and capital expenditure. Yeah? Excluding cost of land. Loss, cost of land, kidhar bhi. But that way we are revising everything for total income. It's allowed at both the places. Prior 3 years, revenue and capital expenditure related to research both the places. फिर क्या था आपको बताया था? Yeah. Donation outside. Donation outside. National Laboratory, IIT, scientific research company, here allowed, here not allowed. In-house, if you are doing both the cases, it will be allowed default also. But if you are donating it outside, National Laboratory, IIT, this, that, it's 100% challenge ke saath I'm saying if you share this table with anyone and this video, it will become so clear for them. But of course, you have to study this individually. There are one shot revision videos for business head, for house property, for capital gain. वो पढ़ो. चलो आ जाओ. ये business head का scientific research तो खत्म हो गया. अब 35 AD. Specified business. 2-star and above hotel. Revenue and capital both. Here allowed, here not allowed. 35 AD में करना है तो you have to come out of default taxation. 35 CCC. Notified agricultural project. Here allowed, here not. फिर क्या लिखा है आपने? Deductions. ये हो गया. अच्छा मैम, व्हाट अबाउट द कैपिटल गेन एंड अदर सोर्स? नो चेंज, दोनों में सेम है. कैपिटल गेन एंड इनकम फ्रॉम अदर सोर्स सेम. अब अदर सोर्स में अलाउड ही क्या है? एक्सपेंडिचर रिलेटेड टू हॉर्स रेसेस इन सेम लाइन ऑफ बिजनेस. या इट्स अलाउड. नाउ कम टू डिडक्शंस. ATC to ATU allowed. Here allowed only क्या क्या? ATCCD to employers. I want to write little detail ताकि आपको याद हो जाए. Employers contribution to NPS. ATCCH to employers contribution to Agniveer. Where I should pause? पीछे रह गए आप, सुन के लिखो ये. I'll give you time. पहले ये लिख लो. ATCCH2 employers contribution to Agniveer corpus fund. और तीसरा 80JJAA new employment. 30% of the salary paid is deductible. New employment. Anything else? Losses I made you write. Additional depreciation I made you write. Note लिखो. Losses related to above. Losses related to above expense not allowed to be carried forward in default taxation. Yeah. If these expenses are not allowed, you have donated to National Laboratory, not allowed. So related to that, if there's a loss, can you carry it forward? No. Please at least comment below now whether this table is helpful, and anything more you have a confusion which you want to add to this table. You want me to revise or you want me to add? I've done it headwise. Salary mein this is allowed, this is not allowed. Few things are not mentioned here. I have taken like gratuity hai, leave salary hai. Yeah, both the cases you get the exemption. Standard deduction, both. Income from house property, most important for MCQ, case scenario, question and answer. In self-occupied property, you can show a loss here. There you cannot show. In overall house property loss, you can set off with other heads up to 2 lakh. There you cannot. Normal depreciation allowed in both the cases. Additional not allowed right side, default. Scientific research. See, this is not given. What is not allowed, they have given. But what about in-house research and development and capital and revenue expenditure and all? Allowed. 35 AD. Specified businesses. Allowed here, they're disallowed. Yeah. Yeah. Income from other sources, I missed out. I'll write now here. Income from other sources. family pension. You know, for family pension, you get a deduction. 1/3 or 15,000, whichever is lower. यहाँ भी allowed है, यहाँ भी allowed है. Both cases. Family pension deduction, 1/3 or 15,000, whichever is lower, is allowed in the normal tax regime as well as in default tax regime. So here we complete the default tax regime, but class is not over. More problems we are doing today also and tomorrow also. Class may go a little longer tomorrow. अभी तो break लेके we'll wind up थोड़े और problems comparatives करके. But tomorrow we will take up all the past exam questions also, which are specifically asked. Please comment below ना कि आप पूरा table लिख पाए कि नहीं बेटा. Finished writing, then write down F at least. Superb comparison I feel मैंने दिया है. हाँ, राइटिंग उतनी अच्छी नहीं है, आपने सुन के लिखा है तो बस है. Assemble back quickly and put me a message if everything is clear or not. You have any doubt, then chat box is on and Zoom here. Okay, are you all back? पूछो कोई डाउट है? Your speed, yeah. Some of you are like, ma'am, समझ में सब आ रहा है, but on our own, how we are supposed to do. The more problems you practice headwise, no, automatically this will also become more. Means you need not buy more textbooks and all. It is that whatever problems we have done, just repeat it one more time and your study material. Backside questions at least. Okay? Chalo. Now I am taking some total income questions. For the presentation, I am again saying all headwise income. And if it is in too much detail, do it in the working. And all total income problem, we are taking it right now. In the case he has opted out of default tax regime, normal. Comparatives we have done. Again, some comparatives we'll do tomorrow when I take past exam question. So directly come on page number 232. There you have computation of total income questions in case of normal tax regime, default tax regime. Normal ka tax rates and all everyone remembers, right? So आ जाओ. Computation of income. I am on page number 231 to जो भी है. The very first problem. Of course, one part will be business head, and business head, please remember, if a working partner is getting salary, remuneration, commission from the firm, it will be taxable under business head. Okay. So Vinayak is a resident, P&L account is given, GP, interest on post office, MIS scheme, saving account, FD interest, rent, lottery. See, what's the funda for business add and less? I have given in one video. Add and less will be super clear. Please watch that 30 minutes to make yourself very clear. These are all the incomes which are either exempt or they are taxable in other heads. So what we will do? We will remove it. Followed. And on the debit side, salary is allowed, rent is allowed, administrative. Income tax is not allowed as business expenditure because income tax you pay not only on business income, on all the heads. So nikal do. Depreciation as per books not allowed because depreciation as per income tax they have given. So you can start with net profit, remove all this, but where it's going, see, here like FD interest 63 is added, so minus 63. But 63 is net interest what you have received after TDS. It will be taxable in income from other sources. FD interest gross. Gross income is taxable. Please promise me that you are revising all the heads, and it my own experience I'm sharing while doing total income problem. Arey grossing up kaise karna hai? You have the DT compiler. Refer the notes. मैम कितना फिर तो एक एक प्रॉब्लम को एक एक घंटा लगेगा. It will take time initially, not now 1 hour, because we all have done together all the 5 heads in the live classes. But if anywhere you are stuck up, there's no other secret except referring that topic. Okay, 80D, I am confused. 25, go and refer 80D. So keep the compiler with you and then solve these questions. Okay, chal. Now, during year, he deposited 85,000 in PPF. Okay, ATC deduction. He received annual salary and commission from partnership firm. Student salary देखते से salary add, commission देखते से other source. No. If you are receiving the salary and commission from partnership firm, take it here. He received annuity pension 72,500 from LIC. When annuity pension you get, it is exempt. It's not taxable. Oh, sorry. Annuity pension, generally LIC on maturity is exempt, but this is one time receipt, so it will be taxable in others. Mediclaim 21,850 paid for Vinayak. He's not a senior citizen, allowed. How much it is allowed? Up to 25,000. But here too you have paid less. So Mediclaim will be allowed. Life insurance premium of 25,000 was paid for the policy standing out for the wife, Sujata. Yes. LIC is allowed. Okay. For self, spouse, and children, you can pay the LIC. Administrative expenses include municipal tax you have paid. So, municipal tax is not allowed as business expense. Add back, disallowed. If I say out of this 5,000 is not allowed, expense is reducing, profit is increasing. So, add back the disallowed expense. But in the rental income, can be deducted? Yes. And rental income, nothing given, also you have to give standard deduction and municipal tax also. Or bus depreciation, that's it. Please ask me, you have any problem in reading the question? If you're watching in laptop, take a screenshot in your phone, keep it so that we can work it fast. And best is to take a printout of this compiler. It's freely available in the PDF form in the Telegram and Challengers group. Acha problem hai. One more thing. If they ask you to compute the income, just stop there. Tax computation you should do if they ask. I will do it here for practice purpose because tax पूछते ही हैं. अच्छा. Once I want to revise the tax also. How do you calculate the tax on total income? Normal income, normal rate, special income, special rate. On tax, add surcharge or deduct rebate. Now, whatever you get tax, add health and education says 4%. This is your final tax payment. Out of this, already TDS is deducted, like in case of FD interest. TDS to deduct ho hi gaya na? So TDS deducted, and other all the cases, advance tax paid, all you can deduct to get final tax payable or refund. Is it clear? And I want to repeat here, if you just calculate total income in decimals, you will not get marks. It's the silliest of mistake. मैम 83.48 आया, मैंने तो लिखा, अरे क्या लिखा, इनकम टैक्स है, कॉस्टिंग थोड़े, यू डोंट हैव टू डू डेसिमल्स, just write 83. Final income and final tax you have to round off in the multiples of 10. If you don't round off, you'll do stepwise ones. Any more presentation doubts are also there, ask. Otherwise, quickly we are doing. We'll do 2 good questions today. I'll give some homework and then we will continue tomorrow. Tomorrow also we are doing more of total income questions. Okay? Aajo. Problem number 1. Nothing given, we are assuming he is opted out of the default tax regime. Huh? I want to work out like that. That's why I'm doing computation of income. Opted out of default tax regime. Computation of income of Mr. Vinayak for the previous year 23-24. Though first business set details are given, but you have rental income. So start with income from house property. Rent received. Don't write all fair rent and all because not required. Directly rent received is given, less municipal taxes. You have paid and put it as business expense. Point number 6, 5,000. So what is the NAV? GAV के बाद NAV 61,000. Nothing said you have to give standard deduction 30% of NAV. I hope you all remember. House property, I don't know, I feel it's like favorite of most of the students. है ना, पूरे पूरे marks मिलेंगे इसमें. $42,700. Income from house property. Now income from business head. Always start with net profit as per the P&L account. Start with net profit as per the P&L account. Yeah, there is another income also. That also you can add and write separately because he is a partner of the firm. अभी तो मैं नेट प्रॉफिट से शुरू कर रही हूँ. 723,400. Add back administrative expenses as it includes municipal tax which you have deducted above. Add back depreciation as per books. What's the depreciation as per books? 67,500. Add back income tax. We have read the problem. I've spent a lot of time in discussing the problem, so I'm going with this speech. So you can add and less ke liye you can have one more sub column. 3 column also you can leave one line अगर कुछ और add आया और हम भूल गए. Excuse me. Now less. All the incomes you have to remove which are not related to business set. Interest on post office MIS. 84,000. Interest on post office saving account. Saving account के लिए you will get that 80 TTA and all बाद में. अभी तो business head से तो we are removing this income. Bank FD interest. Just go on removing bank FD interest. Past exam questions definitely will take up tomorrow. Rent you remove it because you've separately taxed it. And when you do minus, you can put it in bracket. Lottery income you can remove 17,500. Here 17,500 is added, so remove 17,500. And then the TDS part you can gross up and take. Or yeah, now can we allow depreciation as per Income Tax Act? 57,000. Any more point? Mediclaim, LIC वो सब हम देख लेंगे. चलो. So that's all for add and less. What you get, you call it as business income. Easy. Please ask where you are stuck up, or if you have doubt, put the message in the chat box. 723,400. I'm sharing the screen so that I want all of you to do the total. Plus 5,000 plus 67,500 plus 160. Add total. कितना आ रहा है? 955,900 minus 84,000, 14,000, 63,000, 66,000, 17,500, 57,000. So 654, 400 is business income. Plus you have more income from partnership firm. That's also business income. Point number 2 they have given. Salary you received as working partner. You know, as working partner you have received a salary of 120. Commission 60,000, 180. Done. ये हो गया आपका business income complete. Now there is no capital gain, so leave and go to income from other sources. Income, anyone is having doubt? Anyone wants me to scroll? Is the presentation clear? Oh, I didn't change the color. This is the color of our booster notes. Problem थोड़ी इससे करते हैं, blue color से solve करते हैं, black color से करते हैं. ठीक है. Arik, put some comment in the comment box. All clear until now? Go headwise. Income from other sources, all the garbage you have removed from business head. Put your left hand on the question. Interest on post office MIS. Shall we write here? Yes. Interest on, thank you for all response. Post office MIS कितना 84,000. Post office saving account, of course you can also write SB account, उतना डिटेल में लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. FD interest. Now you gross up and write 63,000 you have received after 10% TDS, so taxable will be gross 70,000. Rent you have already taken up. Lottery will always come in income from other source. 17,500 you have received after netting of TDS. So 17,500 plus 7,500. देखो. You all remember on lottery 30% is tax, 30% is TDS deducted. So you receive 17,500. In business income, you have credited 17,500. So I am removing 17,500. And here I am taking gross. Many students ask me doubt. You are not asking either you have followed everything or where you are confused you ask. It's an online class. Why did I deduct here 17,500? Because 17,500 received वाला ही add हुआ था business income में, but it's कचरा, garbage. That's not business income. निकलो. And when they came to other source, you can't take net. You have to gross up. Simple. One more income you have received like annuity pension. Annuity pension is taxable. Annuity pension 72,500. और कुछ rest all are ATC wala deductions. So what's income from other sources? Calculate and tell me the answer. Huh? How much you are getting? 265,900. Yeah, post office saving account, single account, 3,500 we get exemption, and joint account 7,000. That you have to take here only. So minus 3,000. Now you got it correct. 260 to 400. Please do the correction. Post of PPF interest is exempt. Post office saving account 3,500 is directly exempt here, not in the form of deduction. And remaining only you will take it down. Now what's your total income? 42,700 plus 654 400 plus 180 plus 260 to 400. कितना आ रहा है? Business income is also not telling. अरे क्या हो गया? ऐसे क्या हो गया? Yeah, of course it's telling. 42,700 plus 654 plus 190 plus 262. Please do the total. All the students who all are live in Zoom and doing thoroughly with me, एक बार टोटल करके भेजो, कहीं फर्क आ रहा है? Post office saving account interest is 14,400. Change it, no? Saving account interest. मेरे से ही silly mistake हो रही है आज. 14,400. $6,54,000. 14,400. 6,54,000. 11,39,100 is your gross total income. Now let us take deduction one after another. Under section 80C, you have put the money in PPF. PPF में कितने पैसे डाले हैं आपने? 85,000. Next is Mediclaim. Mediclaim. $21. Mediclaim will come under 80D. Of course, it's allowed for self, spouse, children. Up to how much it is allowed? Mediclaim कितना लिया है आपने? 21,850 allowed है. In the meanwhile, one more LIC you have taken for wife. That is allowed in 80C only. LIC for wife allowed. You know, sometimes they give you tax saving FDs. That you have to take only in your name. I am in point number 5. LIC paid for wife Sujata. 25,000. और बिना भूले 80 TTA saving account interest. ये रहा. He's not a senior citizen, so up to 10,000. 85,000 plus 25,000 plus 21,850 plus 10,000. 141,850 minus 1139,100. So you are getting total income 997,250 total. If they ask you income, just calculate income. I have done here tax also to show you how you are going to deduct the TDS and all. You want to do the tax calculation, not asked. कि कर लेंगे, समझ में आया? Special income first take special rates like lottery and capital gain. तो capital gain तो नहीं है, lottery है. Sure. I'll share with all of you the screen where we have done this and check. This is our computation of total income. That's what I have done with all of you now. So you got till here, tax thereon. Now lottery. Lottery income kitna hai? Gross 25,000. 30%. Rest all the other income. Basic exemption 250 nil, next 250 and balance income 20%, you'll get the tax. Add 4% cess. And now TDS on FD, TDS on lottery. See, this is the tax you have to pay. But if there is a TDS on FD deducted, this is the tax you have already paid. Tax is already deducted, whatever it may be. TDS advance tax deduct. This is the finally self-assessment tax which you have to pay. 104,528, round it off. So this is how you get the answer. Okay? Comfortable or not? Chalo, let us take up the next one. It's very simple. So I'm just checking it. 1 or 2 and homework also I will give you. Mr. A, resident senior citizen. Resident. Okay, so they'll get that benefit. Self-occupied property, let out, all detail is given. Fair rent or municipal value, whichever is higher. That or standard rent, whichever is lower. Actual rent is 21,000. Municipal tax is allowed on payment basis. Interest on loan is allowed on due basis, but self-occupied only 2 lakh allowed. These are all the sums for normal tax regime practice. Now loan for both the houses is taken in 17. House 2 remained vacant for 4 months. Oh, so what is the 2 lakh 70 house? 27,000 into 8. Are you getting what I am calculating? 2 lakh 16,000 is the actual rent. Here GAV you will take as actual rent. Ma'am, you said high, low, high. Fair rent or municipal value, whichever is higher. That or standard rent, whichever is lower. That or actual rent, whichever is higher. But here actual rent is low due to vacancy. So you will take GAV as 2,16,000. Now A has inherited the old house. Okay. I think with this first we can check up in the working note. They have already made this. Fair rent or municipal value, whichever is higher, that or standard rent lower, that or actual rent. Okay. Actual rent is low due to vacancy, hence GAV will be actual rent. Less municipal taxes. This. Okay. Right. This sum I'm checking orally because it's very simple. We have done one whole problem. I took half an hour to complete. So now check with me. No problem. If you have any doubt, check and you do it in notebook and message me. Click the picture of your notebook and send me. Ma'am, I could do it in 15 minutes, 20 minutes. No problem. So this is routine house property, working note, standard deduction. Self-occupied property, the interest is 210, but you have to take 2 lakh. Here you can take actual. So finally there is a loss. Yeah. Here there is a profit. Here also there is a loss. Sorry. If there's profit, you can set off. So house property total, there is a loss. This is a beautiful point. If you feel, ma'am, house property के बाद आप आज वापस revise हो गया, then super. Fair rent or municipal value, whichever is higher, that or standard rent. So standard rent, that or actual rent. So we should take GAV as 270. Why did I take 216? Because GAV is low because there's vacancy for 4 months. Agar pura 27,000 into 12, if we do 324. If GAV is low due to vacancy, even though it is low, take that as GAV. It's a beautiful technique. वो expected rent and all you don't have to do. If you want to refer this method, refer one shot revision video of house property. अच्छा है, clear है? आ जाओ. House property is over. Now we'll read the next one. A has inherited during the year property from grandfather due to business commitment. He sold the house for 1,161. House was purchased in 1963. Oh, but FMV is given 250. With the sale proceeds, he purchased another house. Simple capital gain. When you take the cost of previous owner, you have to take indexation. But here, house was taken by grandfather in 63. So we'll take the fair market value, that is 250. And in 2001, the property value is 100. Now it is 348. वही किया होगा देखो. 100 has become 348. 250 kitna? 291. And you know, you have sold one house and you have purchased one house. You can take exemption, but this year there's an upper cap on 54 and 54F. If you are purchasing house property, the value cannot exceed more than 10 crore. तो यहाँ तो इतना ही है, 2 crore 60 lakh ही है, तो आ गया. हाउस प्रॉपर्टी मैंने आपको बता दिया. 344 loss was coming. How much loss you can set off in house property in other heads? Only 2 lakh. So 144 carry forward. Only 2 things I have done until now. Any doubt? आ जाओ. Next. Other than this, business loss is there. Okay. 3,50,000. Business loss we can set off in capital gain. Business loss है नहीं, house property में भी loss है. Can we set off house property loss in capital gain, business loss? Yes. Capital gain loss cannot set off. They are rigid. They are not coming their house. Long term, short term capital loss cannot be set off at other places. We can to set off na. Followed? So very well you can set off. Come to other source, dividend income is there 3 lakh. PPF, NSC all qualifies for 80C. So other source mein dividend income, you got gross total income. PPF, NSC put together is 1890, but under 80C allowed only 150. So you got the result. In 27 lakhs, what is your normal income? See, 3 lakh dividend, पहले तो dividend में आप house property का loss set off कर दो और ये भी loss set off कर दो. So can I say your gross total income is nothing but all capital gain? Are you getting? Huh? So what is your normal income? And he is a senior citizen. One second, dear students. Yeah, there's a hidden secret here. In capital gain, you cannot give deductions. याद है सबको? Capital gain में you cannot give deductions. Okay. It's challenge for a teacher also to take total income questions and for student also. So carefully you understand. In capital gain, you cannot set off deductions. So deductions can I set off in any other income? कुछ भी. Dividend income ले लो. Better है dividend income ही ले लो. 3 lakh. So still you have 1,50,000. Okay. Normal income में. Now, what about the other losses? Can you set off all the other losses, house property and the business loss here? Yes. But other source income, 1,50,000 you have done, and remaining all will be capital gain. So directly on the capital gain, you can calculate the tax. Followed or not? 3 lakh is the basic exemption. 150 you are absorbing in the normal income. Okay. 2 lakh लॉस है, बिजनेस लॉस है, वो सब आपका सेट ऑफ हो जाएगा अदर सोर्स में एंड ऑल. सो वट एवर इज योर इनकम लेफ्ट इज एक्चुअली कैपिटल गेन. ओके. So on capital gain, 20% taxes you have to calculate. One more problem. Just do it at home. If you have any doubt, we can check. Third problem is homework for you. Salary, we have done enough questions. Nothing is there. Salary and very easy level of the question. Answer is also printed. Third and fourth is homework. वैशाली, कुछ समझाने की जरूरत नहीं है. स्टडी मटेरियल का बड़ा सिंपल सा प्रॉब्लम है. Fifth onwards, I will take it tomorrow. One more objective kind of the question I want to give as homework. Second, third and fourth. Is that enough for today? Second, third and fourth. ठीक है. ठीक है, done. Second, third and fourth question are homework. Fourth wala to 2 minutes. If I do it in the notebook also, we will complete it now. So second, third and fourth is homework. If you have any doubt in the default tax regime also, I have done second and third. First question is with salary. So with salary, standard deduction and all you are giving at both the places, right? So that's all for today. Check up the tax for the second one. Now, what I have discussed. Hint is in capital gain, you cannot take a deduction. Okay, right. If you have any doubts, ask me. Otherwise, do come for the Zoom and live class tomorrow. Saturday and Sunday, it's holiday for Dashera. Tomorrow, we'll be doing more problems for normal tax regime. Study material, one ninth question here I can see now. That's there in the study material. वो भी करेंगे total income के लिए. And we'll do past exam questions for 15 marks. Okay. 15 marks, be prepared. Business head will be there. Deductions will be there. Capital gain may or may not be there. Any one of the flavor. But business head, other source, deduction, yeah, agricultural income, ATG, these are the styles. So many problems we have done in 3 classes in the fast track. Deductions may only have done the total income problem. So check those videos. Don't jump any videos if you have opted for recordings. Okay. And once we complete the total income, TDS, TCS, return of income, then we will start with GST live classes. So this is all the schedule. Next week, of course, we'll be starting with the live classes for GST also in Zoom. Any doubt? No? Thank you so much then. It's a challenge for me also to take total income questions because इतना सारा data होता है ऊपर से नीचे ऊपर से नीचे. So tomorrow the class will start with doubt clearing and I have shared the table. Were you able to write the table clearly? Can you message me table लिखा बेटा booster note लिखा है आपको? Share it with all your friends. It will make very easy. This is allowed. This is not allowed. This is allowed in both. This is allowed here. Like that. Yeah, thank you. Thank you that you have written. I wanted to make some addition in that. Actually, I really missed out. तभी के तभी मुझे लिखना था. Sorry, please come back and then we will close. कहाँ लिखा था वो टेबल के पास पता नहीं है जगह भी है या नहीं है ना या like rebate under section 87A up to 5 lakh total income it is 12,500 from tax. Here it is up to 7 lakhs total income 25,000. Ma'am, how did you get 25,000? 3 lakh tak to nil hai. 3 lakh to 6 lakh 15,000. 6 lakh to 7 lakh 1 lakh pay or you have to take 10%. So 15 and 10 25,000. This point you have to, I wanted all of you to add, and then below this also add the tax rates. दोनों के excuse me अपने अपने tax rates हैं तो add the tax rates also. This is going to be awesome for all of you to get full marks in the computation of total income. More questions from the past exam and all. Suggestions from your side is welcome. If you can take a printout of the compiler, you will really do well, at least from page number 222 onwards. That's having the total income questions and then the past exam, all the questions, RTP, MTP, CA, CMA, all. Okay? Right. That's all for today. Thank you so much. See you all tomorrow. Bye.